suffered so much is the resilience and the generosity. And she just really was such an embodiment of that. She was so much fun. And she really did. I mean, she had us to her house. And, you know, she's just a character. Just an absolute character.
And what's so beautiful, I was just telling them also that despite like the darkness of everything that's happened, the film is a constant reminder, and that's why it resonates to this day, because it shows us that there are still truly good people in this world, and that's why it's so amazing. And what was it you guys so important to be a part and to make this for all of you? And we can start with Chris and then go down.
Yeah, you know, first learning about Sugihara and what he did and trying to grasp what that must have been like. You know, growing up as a Japanese American, the images that I saw in films and on television, especially around World War II, were pretty much as the enemy. And here was a Japanese man who was one of the good guys, and an amazingly good guy. So it meant so much for me, first to be in the play, which is where this all began. It was just a one-act play in a black box theater in North Hollywood for about 4 weeks. The play script was 13 pages long, and just to do that was really a treat as an actor and as a Japanese American. But then this idea of making it into a film and being able to share it to so many more people, you know, I think a lot of it had to do with what that ability meant, that I would be able to show this film and to share this film over and over, and for, you know, many more years than you could do a play.
How about you, Susan?
You know, I think just, first of all, learning about his story, and what Chris just mentioned, when on TV movies, it was always the Japanese are bad, and you know, and just to see that this is all about a person who really, it was about heart. It was about, you know, he went against what he was supposed to do, and he knew that he was going to get punished for it, him and his family, but he had to do what he had to do, and that was amazing. And even like now, thinking back, you know, when you think, hey, you've seen this movie again after so long, and just everything happens in the news and everything that's going on in the world, just the humanity, the idea of humanity, and what he did and what he sacrificed, I think means, you know, I think more about it, it just means a lot.
And even as filmmakers, in 1997, so much has changed to 2023. How did it feel to be an Asian American filmmaker making this at a time where there were barely stories that were being told?
Yeah, you know, it was quite a different time back then, and the opportunities for actors were very, very limited. But I think the positive side of that is that it was a smaller community, and it was very tight-knit, and I knew most of the actors that would get the roles, or that I would be up against auditioning, or, you know, that I did plays with at East West Players. Everybody knew each other, and that really helped me, I think, in terms of making the film, because there were many actors that served on crew positions in our film. So, and there were people that I met at East West Players. It's hard to think back then as to what it meant. I mean, I knew, you know, that was a big factor in my being able to play a hero on screen was never going to just come my way. I couldn't expect it, so that was another sort of motivation for me. Just being able to have the opportunity to play him on screen, even if it was in a short, was meant a lot to me.
Diana, you mentioned that it meant a lot to you as a film to see this story come to pass. How does it feel now, having all this time passed since when you guys filmed it?
It kind of feels emotional, actually. It's a hard time we're living in, and I have so much respect for Chris, and it was such a tight-knit group. I mean, Jude's here, Maria was here. Everybody who showed up just showed up. don't know why. Nobody thought there's going to be a reward in this. We just did it. There was something kind of bigger. And I think the selflessness and the danger of being selfless and taking a risk to actually live by your moral compass, I think it really inspired all of us that were involved. I mean, I'm very stirred seeing all the faces who came. There wasn't an opportunity at the time. Nobody knew there was going to be an Oscar. Nobody knew where this would go. But it just felt, I think the story lifted us. And it's true. You know, it's very different now, 25 years later, on the television and in movies. But, you know, people with different faces just weren't on there. And it was it took a lot of drive and ambition. And you were saying in the last panel, you don't know if you would do it now because there was a youthfulness. I don't know how you got it done. It was bizarre how things happened. The producer was through a second cousin of mine who's in Abbas, 5 hours north of San Francisco in Humboldt County. Like, how did that happen? Susan comes, she does all the graphics. I mean, it was just the kind of unfolding. So, I guess when you go with your heart, I mean, it sounds so cliche, but maybe when you just do things purely, maybe that's why I feel so stirred, because it just resonates in that way.
How about you, Mark? I know Mark's a good friend, guys. He's also executive here at Asian World Film Festival, and he won't stop talking about it. That's how much he loves this film. How did it resonate for you to this
Well,
day?
before I start talking about it, I'm kind of more curious what's in that bag that
All right, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Is your lunch or
Guys, Mark Choi is the sound design. Oh, what is this?
Ooh.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Oscar Award, Academy Award.
Woohoo.
What I like to do is pass this to the audience, so everyone gets a chance to hold it. So,
Ooh.
I just got confirmed by our executive director George. He said that this is the first Oscar made an appearance in the Asian Horror Film Festival in 9 years. So this is a super duper honor.
Yeah. Well, you know, the film was not made by me. It was made by a whole community, several communities. And so I don't feel like I'm the only one that run this statue up. It really meant a lot to so many people just to be involved. You know, when we shot the film during production, nobody got paid. We were upfront with everyone, just asking for volunteer time, and that didn't stop anyone from coming on board. From all of our PAs to someone like Hiro Narita, who was an A-list cinematographer at the time. So I owe it to so many people that the film was made. By the way, I want to say Jude Prest, sitting over here, was one of our volunteers during the montages. He said yes to so many people, so I want to thank him for coming out.
Well, and I think that I'm the only one that paid on this because I was working at the post
You got
office.
paid? What?
But you didn't pay me. You paid the post office, and post office paid me when I was working there.
Sound guys always get paid. Actually, so Yuda Mayan, who was our sound mixer during production, said he needed to get paid. So what we ended up doing was we rented his equipment. So he kind of got a check. But he volunteered, and I gotta say, he was so good. I was so grateful for the work he did. We didn't have to do any looping.
Correct.
So I'm really proud of that aspect.
And then to rain a little bit on his parade, during production, there was so much squeaking of the hardwood floors that I removed every single one of them at like 4 in the morning. So you guys will not be bothered by that when you listen to it. So.
Sorry, sorry about that.
No?
But that just shows you how many people really wanted to be a part of this. Like you saw that credit reel. That's a long credit reel. That's how
Yeah.
powerful this story it is that you guys were telling. When did you guys have an income?